Hi, my name is JT Bachman, and this semester I'll be teaching a seminar titled Workspace Generations. Workspace Generations is the second seminar in a larger research project titled Workspace Futures, which explores the spatial implications of the changing nature of work. Workspace Futures is a collaborative research project sponsored by Google at the UVA School of Architecture, being led by Professor Katie Stranix and myself. This course will be offered to undergraduates and graduate students and will be offered online with synchronous course meetings occurring on Wednesdays from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Much of the course content will also be offered asynchronously in pre-recorded lectures and video tutorials. Proficiency with Grasshopper is not necessarily required, but it is encouraged. A little bit about the class. Technological advancements, cultural shifts, and most recently COVID-19 have catalyzed an ongoing evolution of how and where we accomplish work. This research seminar seeks to challenge the spaces and relationships that drive and embody the contemporary labor landscape. In this course, students will reimagine the future of work and leverage generative design tools to explore new opportunities for workspace. In the fall of 2019, Professor Katie Stranix taught the first seminar in the research project titled Workspace Evolutions. In this course, students analyzed more than 50 historical and contemporary office buildings, closely examining the underlying architectural elements, such as floor plate, structure, circulation, access to light, etc. This course, Workspace Generations, aims to take a more projective and user-oriented approach, searching for new potential paradigms for the future of work and the spaces that facilitate it. Over time, the form of the office environment has been in a constant state of flux. Changes and transitions tend to follow unfolding evolutions extrinsic to the work being done, whether by means of advancements in building technologies, managerial practices, telecommunications and networking, or environmental and social pressures. Work has continually shifted shape, and workspace eventually finds a way to evolve in response. We're currently experiencing a unique moment where many of these paradigms are unwinding simultaneously. Vast swaths of the country's workforce and productivity has been ground to a halt almost instantaneously as the COVID-19 virus has forced over 20 million people out of their jobs. And for the many of those privileged enough to maintain their jobs, it has temporarily eliminated the workplace altogether. As a means of survival, many companies and workers have been testing the limits of remote working and have been forced to employ a certain agility in the present while looking ahead toward the longer-term solutions for what a healthy, safe, and equitable workplace might look like in the future. The workspaces we will return to will be very different from the ones that we knew before. Through a series of lectures, readings, discussions, and exercises, students in this course will be asked to reflect on and respond to the evolution of work in the workplace, proposing future configurations that address new and existing spatial parameters tied to knowledge work. The contemporary workplace demands flexibility, and in turn, a flexible design process will be tested in this course. Students will begin by analyzing historic and contemporary examples of the base work modules that comprise individual and collaborative office space, the desk, the meeting room, the tribune stair, the canteen, etc. Students will then develop their own narratives to describe the future of work. These will serve as a framework to challenge and reimagine these components by the way of their own designs. Students will leverage the computational power of parametric and generative tools to design custom aggregation algorithms that enable quick testing and rapid deployment of their components at full scale and in varied contexts. This process does not aim to yield finished, polished floor plans or designs, rather it attempts to seek out starting points for new potential paradigms. This method will allow students to design manually at a highly detailed and nuanced scale, while flexibly stress testing and manipulating the underlying logic of their system through large-scale aggregations and full floor test fits. Initial iterations will be proliferated within the core and shell constraints of existing typical office plans. Later iterations will extend out into 3 dimensions, filling a defined volume. These explorations will be thoroughly documented in planimetric drawings, animations, and 3D prints at the scale of both the base unit and the larger aggregation. Lastly, the students will extract quantitative metrics from their own schemes to compare against the collection of precedents analyzed in the Workspace Evolutions seminar. The course has funding for the cost and purchase of materials. These funds will be used to cover printing, 3D printing, shipping or model making costs incurred by the students. Funding will also cover the cost of printed booklets, which will serve to showcase the research from the past 2 seminars, as well as materials for a mini exhibition of the work in Campbell Hall. Thanks for watching this, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at jb7mx@virginia.edu.